I've been having these weird thoughts lately.
Yeah, jumping past the age of 25 sends you to the hospital. Can I take this hole? Oh my god! Imagine the smell of this place. Engineered concubine Smurfs. This educational content, fuck you.
Like, is any of this for real? Or not?
When you're stuck in a hole and you don't know where to go, when it's too dark for you to tell your tale from your toe, you wonder which way is.
Damn. This is what it feels like to be born. Same point of view too. Hi chat, welcome to Dreamcore. This is my first time playing the game. It has multiple stages, so today we're gonna go to the dream pools. Ooh. Beware of the sounds around you. Patience and observation are key. Damn. The heavy footfall makes me think that we are built somewhat like Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Because those are some boat-like shoes. How's my head, Bob? Never had any complaints. Flashlight needed here. I don't have a flashlight. Oh, I'm getting subtle horror vibes. One step closer to the Kingdom Hearts parking lot video.
You're nobody.
I want to see an AMV shipping Sora and Roxas set to that everything inside of me, one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. You know that song? Is this you guys? No way, you guys are not this smiley. You guys are way more terrorized. When's the last time I jumped? Honestly, it's been forever. At a certain point in your life, daring to jump is just asking for your knees to explode like shrapnel. And I'm concerned that I may have already reached that point, so I haven't tested it. Yeah, jumping past the age of 25 sends you to the hospital. Oh, spooky. Do I have to go? Do I have to go into the void space? This feels dangerous. Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that. The darkness over there is like oppressive and thick. What kind of snacks would I want to eat in a liminal space? I think that Poptarts are low-key the perfect liminal like vending machine snack. Seeing Poptarts in a vending machine is kind of nice, at least for me. But then the idea of like each time you come to a vending machine, it's just filled with more of like the same Poptarts. After like the third time of eating like strawberry Poptarts in an inescapable liminal space, the next time you get hungry and you find another vending machine and you're about to eat your fourth meal of Poptarts, I feel like there's going to be a sense of dread that starts to get into you as you get hungry and you realize that Poptarts are going to reemerge as soon as you get critically hungry, and you'll have to eat the same exact flavor of Pop-Tart you already ate. But I don't know, I really like that as a horror motif, like the grinding of something banal into discomfort. Oh dear. Limited liminal lemon flavor Pop-Tart. This is an impressively deep Backrooms game. You had a coworker complain you drank too much. Oh no! Oh no! We loop back so quickly. Honestly, pools is kind of a hard sell for me as a backroom space, which is strange because I feel like I'm probably more the target demographic because I actually grew up going to like pools a lot, which I don't know if many kids these days do. I'm not really sure. Well, this is spooky. Am I a swim trunks or a Speedo kind of swimmer? I like swimming trunks. Speedos are like, I don't know, they're really specific. I think you have to have like a certain type of build to make them work. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Oh. I regret picking up that flashlight. That was an effective build-up, actually. Can I take this hole? I say to your mom as I come to pick you up. Make sure you clean it when you're done with it. Rode hard and put away wet. If I had to spend 48 hours in one of the back rooms, which one would it be? I think, I think probably one of the mall like back rooms would be good. I'm very comfortable in like a shopping center. God, there should be modern architecture devoted to this kind of space. It's interesting the way the genre of liminal spaces kind of supposes an almost like LLM AI hallucination space, right? Like the sort of like schematics and twists and labyrinths, the nonsensical features that seem like a mistaken interpretation of a human purposed facility. Even though the genre is popularized kind of before the modern, you know, AI hallucinates things era that we got to, where that's like a popular concept, it kind of does mimic it. In a way, it sort of feels like, do we have like a psychic reflex against AI? Which makes me sort of think about the idea of like, there's a creepypasta that I like, and I'm sure there's a bunch of them about this, but it's like, things are built into our DNA about how to feel about things and how to react to things. It's like built into our DNA. Like there's an instinctual reaction to things. And so what does it say about the world that humans across all cultures have this reflexive fear of the uncanny, of something that looks human but is slightly not human, that seems human but isn't? Was there perhaps a time when this wasn't a real threat? And if so, what stopped it from being a threat? And I sort of have the same sort of, if you could join me on this delusional rant here, imagine if some of the fear and anxiety and wonder around liminal spaces, despite it being a concept that predates AI, in some way relates to AI. The reflex against like liminal spaces and the awareness and fascination of them, and the fact that they both predate AI and can be generally replicated with AI, makes me wonder, like, is this a sign that like humans interfaced with aliens who had AI-like technology? I don't know that I believe in anything like that necessarily, but it does tickle the brain. Ooh, that's fun. Nice. I'm looking at this and I just know that Jake and probably several other people here would run up those stairs with one of those fucking blankies in hand, and I'd be going, absolutely not. You'd be like, no, come on, it's perfectly safe. I'd be like, no way. Oh, come on, just watch. That is way too steep, young man. You could hurt yourself. I don't know. Okay, all right. If you kids want to play on the terror slide, how about this? Everybody share your current GPA as well as your career ambitions, and whoever ranks the lowest can go down the slide first to test for the rest of you, okay? We'll do that. High school GPA was dirt. My GPA was actually really bad too, because I knew that grades didn't matter and that I got into college on standardized test scores. So who was right? It was me. And by me, I mean the substitute teacher who traumatized me and reshaped my life. Thanks, buddy, wherever you are. Oh my god! Oh my god! My body just took a screenshot. Oh my god! Oh my god! I have such goosebumps. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is fucked up. That's crazy. No way. I hate this. That was fucking brutal. Oh my god. They're not gonna do that again, are they? Okay. This is giving me some kind of vibe. I like the idea of somebody watching this video in bed after a hard day and feeling a little more relaxed. I think that's my highest ambition in life. Just to be the sigh of relief for as many people as I can provide that to. Interesting. Now this feels very 90s. These sort of structures in the mall, which themselves are holdovers really from like the 70s. I wonder if tinnitus actually sounds like this and people who have it are just being screaming queens about it. Yeah, I think people need to learn to enjoy their tinnitus because it could low-key be providing some necessary ambiance. Would it be psycho to tile your bathroom like this? I really love, oh. Chat, there's a little like quick save icon that appears sometimes on the bottom right of the screen behind me. And I fucking hate it. Feels like the end is fucking nigh every time it comes up. I'm so braced for despair. I really like the idea of like wet bathrooms. There was a place that I was, oh. Ooh. Darkness is a big empty hug. Oh. Gets crushed by a giant rolling happy face. Splish, splash, splish, splash, splish, splash. Oh man, are we in a coma? Is this coma lore? Coma, 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 chameleon. He sleeps real long. Not me looping back. Oh, look at that. It's like a hospital door. But we can't get over there, can we? I want to see. I don't think we can. Damn, that's spooky. Armpit reveal when? What do you mean armpit reveal when? People have seen, look at that. Look, wait. Look, you can see. I'm a charmer. It's difficult to charm. It's difficult to be charming when you don't know what the other person wants. Charm comes from an awareness of what the other person wants and an ability to signal to them that you can provide it. What is the one thing, if you had the choice in life to repeat and do over? You know, that's a really tough question because it's my point of view that I try to live without regrets. So even things that are bad that happened, even if they had a really negative impact on me, I still feel like it was good that it went that way because it had to get that way for me to turn out how I am today. So like, you know, I can look at particular instances in my career pathway where I've made a decision that ultimately cost me a lot of time and or money, or cost me a friendship or a connection. And it's like, well, knowing what I know now, I could probably, of course, go back and redo it without making the same mistake. But if I didn't make those mistakes, I wouldn't be where I'm at today having made those mistakes. Everything that I have today is necessarily built more so on the ugly, bad, problematic, messy, failed, struggling, embarrassing moments, more so than the times where I was playing it safe and checking boxes. So, you know, are there things that I'd like to have another shot at? There are things I'd like to have another shot at for sure. I would totally take another shot at some things. Like, if I had another corpo opportunity, I'd consider it. But would I want to go back and redo any past opportunity? No. When I want to go back and redo college, no. When I want to go back and redo, you know, like avoid some friendships that turned out really sour, or, you know, avoid dating somebody who it got really messy with, like, no. Even if things got bad or scary or dark, like, I had to go through that to get here today. So I don't know. I know that's a lame non-answer. Something I wish I could go back, repeat and do over. Gosh, maybe having fried chicken with my grandmother before the end. But I do it exactly the same. But there's nothing that I'd want to like undo the outcome of. If you have anything that's like a regret, something where you're just like, oh man, I really wish I had instead, you can get rid of any regret by finding a lesson from it. And you've got to find the really good lesson from some things. And there's probably a couple things where there's no lesson that will make up for the cost of learning it. Like, you know, if you're like drunk driving and you run somebody over, you probably aren't learning a good enough lesson out of that. But I think that short of literal homicide, you can probably learn your way out of any regret, if you're being really honest. Some things you can only learn by mistakes, by being impulsive or messing things up. I agree. We learn so much more from our failures than our successes. You want to repeat some wholesome moments? Yeah. Me too. Give me... Oh. Lessons learned you're taking into 2026. Lesson learned from 2026 that I'm bringing into 2026. I think a big lesson is that version 1 is better than version none, which is something that I've heard from years, but is actually super fucking true. Trying to perfect something to the absolute limit is not guaranteed to make you happy, because there's always something else that could come up. Great examples of that: choosing the last name Harlow. I have been sitting on a long list of last names for years trying to decide what my last name would be, so that I could unify my social media handles and feel more comfortable in, you know, answering like my last name on like video games and stuff, and so that you guys can, you know, write my last name as your last name whenever you imagine us getting married. I agonized over what would be the best decision, and so many people told me, and they were so right, there is no best one answer. There's only whatever answer you go with. And that's true. That's really true. It's really about what answer you go with on these things. There's not some perfect answer waiting for a lot of things, or like iterating forever on the new Nikki design. We spent so long getting the new Nikki design figured out, and then just a couple months later, you know, 6 months later, I'm debuting a brand new look. And I feel so much happier on this new look immediately. It was so easy to slide into. So version 1 is better than version none. This is such a tech buzzword, but it's so important, I think. Signal to noise ratio. You have to control your signal to noise ratio. So it's a concept that's really big with like Silicon Valley tech nerd types, like tech bros are into it. But basically it says this, that in your day-to-day, there's a lot of stuff, right? Going on. Stuff that you need to do, stuff that's going on, stuff that needs your attention. And what you need to be able to do is you need to be able to split apart all of this stuff that's buzzing around and divide it into signal and noise. Signal is the stuff that matters, that's important. Noise is the stuff that gets in your way of doing the important stuff. And so actually for about a week now, I've been really committed to this idea of every day I want to get at least 3 things done. I need to find my top 3 to 5 most important things to do every day. And if something's getting in the way of that, figure out if it's noise or if it's a signal that I need to respect another time. But you know, there's so much noise that goes on. An example of noise for me is deciding what to eat, deciding what to wear. That's something that it's like, it's really easy for me to spend too much time sort of like fussing over it, too much mental energy sort of trying to figure it out. So trying to turn down the importance of that decision and make it quicker, make it easier, set it outside of myself as much as possible is really good. Another good example of like noise is like being concerned about like, great example. I get a lot of DMs, I'm not a humble brag. Well, okay, I guess it is a humble brag, but I don't mean it to be, whatever. This is educational content, fuck you. I get a lot of DMs asking me like if I want to do a collab or if I want to be on a VTuber talk show. And instead of agonizing, and this is something I used to agonize over, is just like, how can I politely tell this person that I'm not sure, or I don't know them well enough, or whatever. Instead of agonizing over the exact politically correct way to decline invitation, now I just don't reply. And I don't worry about it. That's just what it is. I don't need to give everybody some carefully crafted Tinder for their feelings no. They reached out to me cold. I don't owe them a response. And I don't have to worry about not giving them a response because it doesn't matter, because other things matter more. I find that a lot of content creators, especially smaller ones, have a really bad grasp of what the noise is for them versus what the signal is, and so they don't get anything done because they're too busy scrambling to follow the noise. Question for a friend: what's your strategy for politely declining a collab if ignoring isn't the best option? So I'd say it's semi-contextual, but I'd say that if you're not interested in it, you can just say, oh hey, thanks for thinking of me, but honestly my plate's really full and I want to spend the little bit of time that I have for streaming right now focusing on solo content. But I appreciate you thinking of me. I think that sounds perfectly honest and legitimate, right? I don't have a lot of time to stream currently, so I want to spend that time focusing on solo content for now. I just want to be really available for like my little crowd, my little community. When you're stuck in a hole and you don't know where to go. When it's too dark and you can't see your tail from your toes. What does this mean? This means something. Imagine the smell of this place. Yeah. Probably a little like mildewy though. What was up with the Smurfs? I feel like the Smurfs would have loved the shit out of the Backrooms. Like, there's so much real estate. And yet they have to bother that bald wizard? Why is there only one girl Smurf? Unfortunately, the one Smurf policy led to a frankly unbelievable number of selected pregnancies being male. And so, with only one last bun in the oven, with great effort, they got one lady Smurf. Smurf species is hanging by a thread. What brought on the word Smurf? Well, you know, there was that big spire, right? It was a big column, and I was like, man, I really want to get into this huge shaft. And then I thought about being a tiny little creature. And then I thought about how I'd be a tiny little creature, which is probably if there was a wizard around. And then I thought, oh, a Smurf. Wasn't the girl Smurf created by an evil wizard, so she wasn't even a real Smurf? No way. They're transing the Smurfs. Papa Smurf created the girl Smurfs with magic. Damn. Engineered concubine Smurfs. No way, Wizard Honeypot Smurf. There's a whole scene in Donnie Darko about the Smurf lore. I totally forgot it.
First of all, Papa Smurf didn't create Smurfette. Gargamel did. She was sent in as Gargamel's evil spy with the intention of destroying the Smurf village, but the overwhelming goodness of the Smurf way of life transformed her.
Still have claws, they're really pretty nails. You can see my claws. Yeah. I could paint them sometime. Game with the hands up yet. Me as a backroom monster. Let me show you what go hard here. You want to go hard here? Being here and seeing another boy up there roaming around looking scared and tired and beautiful and like a crush that you'd forgotten, and you call out to him and you don't make any sound and he doesn't see you. You're just jumping and you're trying to yell, but all you hear is the immense quiet pressing in around you, and you keep trying to do anything possible to try to get his attention, but he never sees you down here. And then you run over here to try to get closer, and as you passed over here, you realize that you can't see him from this angle anymore, and then you wonder if you'll ever see him again, or if it's just gonna be you in the dark. And then you notice these lower pathways, and you wonder if somebody could have seen you down there and you didn't notice them either, and it all starts to come apart. Lonely dream. Boy who is doing okay. Have you ever done a haunted house in 1.0? I know I have as like a really as like a kid, like a little kid, but not since it's become like trendy for adults again. No. There's a couple places near me that do like haunted house experiences, and I'm such a stick in the mud that I've never done them. I remember one time I was in a mall while it was closing, and I was with my friends and we tried to exit through the food court where we came in, but it was locked and they were like turning on all the lights, and so we had to like run and check the other like anchors on the mall, and eventually we realized that like of course like the last time we checked, but the last one we checked, there were still like people at it, and they were like closing the gates, and we were like, wait, we need to get out. And the guy who was closing the gate was just like, oh, you kids better hurry then. Uh-oh. And he started like jokingly pull down the grate on the fucking but he let us out that way. But it was really weird. It was really weird because it's like, I don't know how we lost track of time. Well, like, okay, well, we were visiting with a friend who had a job at a clothing store, and they were the only person working there, and we stayed really late, and so it was like, it was technically like a little after the mall had closed, but it was really surreal to be going through it and like, no, it's actually closed. Like, you're not one of the last ones out, like you're not supposed to be here level of closed. This game is kind of labyrinthine. Have you all gotten that vibe? Like a subtle labyrinthinianness. A Minotaur would love to live here. Get your hands off me, I'm a Minotaur's wife! Have you tested your setup on like a work trip, domestic holiday? Work trip? Archie, I'm a sexy cartoon online. There's no work trips. You asking if I've tested my mic setup while I'm getting my asshole fucked out at the Holiday Inn? First of all, it's been a few years since I've settled for a Holiday Inn. Second of all, no, that's a good idea. 2026. My tagline is, I'm gonna make them fucking eat it. Oh, look. It's one of those glowing doors. Look, it's down there. I bet that's an exit. I bet that's where the beep comes from. We just have to figure out a way to get super far down. That is Frosty the Snowman after he got a Brazilian butt lift and had his buccal fat removed. He's on that Ozempic. He's got the Ozempic waist, the Brazilian butt lift, and the buccal fat removal in the cheeks. And that's what he looks like today. Why is the trend to be a ghoul with a dump truck and DSLs? You know what I think? I think that where we are socially, the communications between men and women are so bad that we're sort of entering this point where like women have sort of idealized and reflected back very like scary versions of themselves to each other. And like similarly at the same exact time that there's like a female beauty standard that is itself like a villain from like Dune. There's also no acceptable male beauty standard, because the traditional male beauty standard, the like Adonis, the Chad, is now itself a red flag for somebody who is like seen as somehow toxic, like looks maxing, right? Like it's now suspicious for men to be too conventionally attractive, too statuesque, too much like the David, while at the same time like the pedestal for women is this like gaunt, evil looking creature. I don't know, it's something very bizarre. It feels very appropriate for where we're at in the times. Oh, all these places look the same. All around me are familiar places. Oh, if this goes down 2 layers, then I think we're getting closer to the door. I don't think we're so getting out of here. Oh, oh. Oh my God, look. Oh man. I think we just found an exit. Oh. It sounds so direct now. Oh God. What is it? Is it a box? Or a button? No, it's an elevator. Of course. How do I... Oh. Oh. No way. Whoa. No way. We beat our first level of the Dreamcore Backrooms. Nice. My new thing is, I've realized that I can do anything. And you know why? Because I'm doing it for YouTube. So I can't lose too much spirit, because I know YouTube's counting on me. I gotta deliver. I could disappoint you guys. I mean, you guys have no standards, right? But YouTube needs me to do my best. And I sure do. Yeah. Baby, I'm doing it for you, Tube. That's literally how they ended the queer baiting in Stranger Things season 5. Thanks, buddy, wherever you are.